quarter at the Richmond Crescent this afternoon. Eastern Suburbs versus Anakie. We're at three-quarter time. Eastern Suburbs 12.981, leading Anakie 9.660. From the centre bounce, we see Anakie go into attack, but it's Eastern Suburbs with handball. Get the ball back to the centre. Over comes to Watson. Played a great second half. Gets a kick down to half forward. Trebilcock grabs the ball. He's grabbed. Shrugs free. Gets a high kick down towards the forward line. Looking for Greg. He can't take the mark. Going across there, we see it picked up by Friday. Shane Friday gets a kick out to half-back where he's got Totten. Totten now goes down looking for Norton. The bounce of the ball doesn't favour him. Handball to Norton now. He's gone with it out the ball. Picks the ball up. Thompson's there. Puts the pressure on. The kick across towards half forward. Sees it picked up here for Anakie by Phil Gavin. Comes back out though. Going in there is O'Leary for the Eastern Suburb sides. Flips the ball out wide looking for Mick Thompson. He gets a short handball. It comes back to centre wing. Socket off the ground which comes to the centre. Picked up here by Darryl Bissett. Bissett now spears a pass down towards the forward, and Julian coming out in front takes a great mark on the 50-metre line. Darryl Julian to kicking from 50 now. Comes in quickly. Gets a high kick down towards the 10-yard square, but it's Eastern Suburbs. Oh, the mark's built back there by Parella, and it goes through for one behind. Right now, waiting for the ball to come back in from full back. Grant Greenwood to bring this ball back in. Not much movement. Looking out the far side. Goes towards the clubhouse side. A high kick out over 50. They set themselves. Whitley from behind taps the ball down. It's tapped further afield there for the suburb side. Goes towards the boundary line where first onto the ball is Nofai. He's throws the ball as he's grabbed, and the free kick to be no, he gets the free kick, sorry, and the umpire was pointing the other way there, but the free kick taken for the Suburbs. Kicks down towards centre wing. Over the back of the pack it goes. Totten's in there, taps the ball about 10 metres forward, and across the line it goes, and we'll have a throw in centre wing, far side of the ground. 2.5 minutes gone in this the final quarter here this afternoon. Boundary umpire brings the ball back into play. Welsh in front, gets the tap down. Socket off the ground there for Anakie. Comes out where Bissett picks it up. He's handball to Totten. Totten with a kick down towards the half-forward flank. Up they go. No one can take advantage of it. Hits the ground. Anakie gain about 10 metres. Rundle onto the ball now. It's kicked out of his hands in towards the forward pocket. Close to the boundary line. A free kick picked out, and the free kick to be taken there for Anakie. Right on the boundary line, the far forward pocket. And I think this is Phil Gavin. A goal here would be handy for Anakie. Give them the start they want in the final quarter. We've been playing just on 3 minutes. As they come in, the drop punt towards the 10-yard square. Players set themselves, tapped away. Camerata tries to grab the ball, gets his boot to it, but it's touched as it goes through. And 1 point is the result. And off the boot of Paul Camerata, 1 goal, 3 for the afternoon. As I say, at the 3.5 minute marker, this is the final quarter. Greenwood to bring the ball back into play. Goes to the clubhouse side again. Spears it out there. They set themselves. Up they fly, and a good mark taken over there by Dave Wormsley for the Anakie side. Wormsley kicking from 50 metres. Goes back. Kicks the ball long and high towards the goal line. It doesn't quite hit the post. It did. I thought it snuck through for a point, but it's hit the post, and 1 point is the result off the boot there of Dave Wormsley. Anakie doing all the attacking in the early moments of this, the final quarter. Right, fullback decides to come out this side of the ground this time. Kicks the ball long. Up they go. Welsh couldn't take the mark. Over the back of the pack it goes. Eastern Suburbs first onto it. Bundled across the line. The ball to be thrown in half-forward flank for the Anakie side. Occurs Northside High Corio Village News Agency. Final quarter shows Eastern Suburbs 12.981, Anakie 9.963. From the throw-in, it's picked up and kicked forward by Bissett for the Anakie side, and the ball goes close to the line in the pocket, and we'll have another throw-in. Don't forget, replays of all GFL and GDFL games shown weekly at Lammy's Bar and Bistro down in the Wool Exchange there in Moorabool Street. As we see the ball thrown in, tapped out here for Eastern Suburbs, comes down where players fall on top of the ball, and a new player on the ground for Anakie and Dean Lawrence, but he's unable to do anything with the ball, and the umpires call for a ball up. Up she goes. Welsh in there. Grabs the ball out of the ruck. Dodges around one. Kicks the ball towards the goal line. Up they fly. Camerata being held. Whitley there with him, and Whitley pushes the ball through for a rush behind to Anakie. They need goals. Points are not going to help them get there at the moment. We've been travelling 5.5 minutes into this, the final quarter. Right, Greenwood comes in to kick the ball back, kicks it out the far side of the ground. Out they go. Totten over there, taps the ball in, picked up here and handball by Billman for the suburb side. Picked up and kicked further forward there by Thompson. That was Graham Thompson. Down towards centre wing, jostling down there. Eastern Suburbs first under the ball. Tap it towards the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in centre wing, clubhouse side of the crescent here. And we see the Kerrs Northside High Corio Village News Agency final quarter scoreboard. Eastern Suburbs 12-9-81, Anakie on 9-10-64. Right from the boundary line thrown, it comes over the back. It's tapped forward here for the suburb side. Good play, sees it go down where it's picked up there by Mick O'Leary. He's kicked down to half forward, tapped further afield by Shane Treblecock down towards the pocket. Anakie first onto the ball, slipping and sliding over there, close to the boundary line. Being held there was the Anakie player, and he'll get up and take the free kick, and the free kick to be taken by Darren Jolly. Played quite a good game for Anakie across the half-back line here this afternoon. Right, Jolly now kicks the ball back towards centre wing. Welsh comes across, puts the ball down in front there where it's picked up and kicked forward by Gibbons down towards half forward. Tapped over the head of Rundle. He's back onto it now. Dives on top of the ball, taking it close to the boundary line. Over it goes, and we'll have a throw in half forward flank for the Anakie side. 7 minutes into this, the final quarter on the Rockies 24-hour locksmith time clock. The umpire brings the ball back into play. Up they go. Eastern Suburbs get the tap down. Picked up there by Lawrence. His handball goes to no one in particular. Eastern Suburbs get out of a defence here with handball. Run through the centre. Oh, dropped the ball for mine in the centre of the ground. Picked up in a short kick out here for the Anakie side. Picked up for them here by Brendan Jolly. Twisting and turning, but Thompson, that's Mick Thompson, gets the ball, kicks it out here to the half-forward flank. Good play for Anakie, sees him through the agency of Gibbons. Get the ball back, but it's picked up and kicked forward again by O'Leary. Down where it's over the head there, tapped forward by Treblecock to Billman. Billman gets a little kick around the corner to Greg Treblecock. Go for the ball, boy. Don't throw the arms out looking for free kicks as the defence comes out for Anakie. Handballs it there to Carter. Carter goes to Welsh. Welsh overruns the ball. Socket off the ground, allows Julian onto it. Picks it up in the centre of the ground. Tries to burst his way through. Handballs it high in the air. Picked up here by Phil Gavin. Gavin gives it across to Lawrence. Lawrence back to Gavin. Gavin gets a high kick down towards a half-forward line. Oh, two Anakie players there nearly collide, but the mark's taken by Pittman. Pittman kicks the ball down the corridor. They set themselves down there. Julian can't take the mark. Over the back, Camerata tries to suck it off the ground. Off the boot there of Perella. Picked up by the goal umpire, and the free kick to be taken by Camerata in the forward pocket. Come off the boot there of John Perella. He tried to soccer it across the line, but on the full, and the goal umpire right on the scene, and Camerata to take this free kick right in front of the scoreboard here at the Crescent. 8.5 minutes into the final quarter, and Camerata lining up for his second. Right on the boundary line, kicks, and I think it's gone right across the face of the big sticks and through for 1 point. Hasn't got his kicking boot on this afternoon. That's 1 goal 4 off the boot of Paul Camerata. Right now, we're waiting for Grant Greenwood to bring this ball back into play. Comes out this side of the ground this time. Kicks the ball out over 50 metres. They set themselves over the back of the pack. It goes. Picked up here and handballed out there by Hood. Tap further afield. Lawrence couldn't do anything with it. Eastern Suburbs tap it further afield. Picked up by Watson. Watson looks here and he's got a running teammate there in Bailey. Bailey over the top to Zulik. Zulik picks the ball up half forward flank. Kicks across towards the corridor, but in front is the defence of Anakie, and they take a good mark at centre half back. Kick the ball back towards the centre, looking for Big Welsh. Up they go. No one can take the mark. Anakie first onto the ball. They lose it. Picked up here by Gavin, is it? Runs through the centre of the ground. He's got Totten out wide. Gives the handball. Totten touches the ball on the ground once. Kicks the ball low down towards the forward line. Whitley waits for it to come to him. Gets it, handballs it out to a teammate who taps it further forward. Totten sockets it off the ground. Eastern Suburbs over the top of the ball, and the free kick to be paid for a push in the back over there for the Suburbs. They take the kick quickly. Comes to Perella. He misjudges it. He's got backup support. Handball across a running teammate who kicks the ball down towards the centre of the ground. Picked up there by O'Leary. Mick O'Leary playing a good game here for the Suburb side. Spears a kick down forward. The mark unable to be taken down there by Jason Perry on the ground for the Suburb side. In defence being held there, but was the Anakie player, but the umpires found, pick one out just before that, and Jason Perry to take the kick half forward flank. Perry's kick towards the 10-yard square. Up they fly. Treblecock has taken another mark. This is Shane again this time, and he's taken a mark about 10-15 metres out on a slight angle, and will be lining up for number 6. Been a very big focal point for the Suburb side at centre half forward this afternoon. Shane Treblecock, as I say, lining up for number 6. If he kicks this one, that's 33 for the season. 11 minutes gone in the last quarter. No goals been scored yet. Treblecock deliberating over this ball, comes in. The drop punt, stabs at it, but has gone straight through the centre. 6 goals, 1 off the boot of Shane Treblecock here this afternoon. A great display at centre half forward, and I think that's the one that Anakie did not want. They had to get the first couple in the last quarter, and Eastern Suburbs have got it, and they go to 13 goals. We've been playing just on 12 minutes in the final quarter on the Rockies 24-hour locksmith time clock. And Rocky out there at Coria Village, call in and see him for all your locksmithing needs. Waiting for the ball to come back to the centre. The Kerrs Northside Higher Coria Village News Agency final quarter scoreboard shows Eastern Suburbs moved to 13-9-87, leading Anakie on 9 goals 11-65. Umpire throws the ball up in the centre. Welsh in there. He's beaten for it this time by McCallum. Thumps it down, but good play coming through strongly there was Carter. Kicks the ball down, but it's marked down there in defence and kicked out wide by Bailey for the Suburb side. Gives his teammate out there in Lumsden a chance to run onto the ball. Soccers it off the ground, and over the line it goes, and we'll have a throw in between centre wing, half forward flank, Suburbs attacking side of the ground. Boundary umpire brings the ball back into play. Up they go. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and it will go to the big fella in Darryl Bissett. Kicks towards centre half back, and the mark's taken for Anakie. Kicks backwards, Mick Carter. Finds the big fella Julian, but his kick down finds Mick Thompson in defence for the Suburb side. Thompson on half-back flank, spears a kick down towards the centre of the ground, up there and taking a good mark for Eastern Suburbs. Plays on quickly, a high kick, and that was off the boot there of McCallum, down towards the half-forward. Ball comes to turf, going through O'Leary, gets another kick, a high kick down towards the half-forward line. Thumped away there by Elmer for the Anakie side. On his hands and knees, Jolly can't control the ball. He's pinned to the ground, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. 14 minutes into this, the final quarter, as the umpire throws the ball high into the air. Up they go, grabbed by Welsh. Welsh with handball gives across to a teammate there in Bissett. Bissett's kicked towards the centre, but it's only player in the centre of the ground is the Eastern Suburbs player there in McCallum. He gets a handball across to Mick Thompson, who kicks the ball long down to the forward line. Anakie's out of defence through the agency of Jolly, out towards the half-back line where he's got Brendan Jolly over there. He kicks towards centre wing. A high kick. The bouncing ball doesn't favour Camerata, and Eastern Suburbs with the numbers thump the ball across the line, and we'll have a throw in centre wing, club outside of the ground here this afternoon. Ball brought back into play. Up they go. Welsh caught behind, but he gets a tap down. In defence, it's picked up for Anakie and kicked down to half forward. Kick back towards the centre. Soccer back towards the centre. Lawrence on his hands and knees for Anakie. Tries to get the ball out. Coming across now. Picking the ball up there and kicking it forward for Anakie was Wormsley. Down towards the forward pocket. Camerato's beaten for pace here by the defenders Whitley and Greenwood. And Whitley sees the ball across the line and will have a throw in the forward pocket for the Anakie side. Camerata with both, as I said earlier in the day, both knees heavily bandaged and not very quick across the ground. Right, from the throw-in, it's tapped down nicely here and picked up for Anakie there, and with handball out by Gavin. Puts his teammate under pressure. Camerata lays attack on the defender for Eastern Suburbs, who's classified as throwing the ball, and Camerata will get a free kick from the exact position that he had a shot from before, in front of the scoreboard on the boundary line. I guess he'll be hoping to do a lot better this time and bring up a major. 15.5 minutes gone into the final quarter as Camerata comes in, tries a banana kick. It's right across the face of the goal, hits the point post on the full, out of bounds it is, and the relieving kick to be taken down there for the Eastern Suburbs side by Mitch Whitley. Whitley now, a little chip kick out, looking for a rundle, but he's got to go back behind his mark and retake the free kick. Right, Whitley from the back pocket now. Kicks the ball out towards halfback. They set themselves out here. Being pushed was the Anakie player, and he'll take the free kick here on half forward, and this is Darryl Bissett. Bissett now from half forward. Goes for the short one, looking for Julian, who runs onto the ball. Oh, blind turns nicely, gets a handball across to his teammate who was standing still waiting for that, and Julian's got to go back in and flip it out himself. Eastern Suburbs get the ball out towards the back pocket. Tap further afield here for the Anakie side. It's picked up in a quick kick towards the goal line for Anakie. It comes back out where diving on the ball there with Julian, but it's kicked away from him. Defensive Suburbs stands firm. Kick the ball back towards the centre. The mark taken in the centre of the ground for Anakie, and it's been taken by Darren Shelley. Shelley now from the centre of the ground. A little short chip kick, and he's got a teammate all on his own there between centre and centre half forward. Plays on quickly. Runs towards 50. Oh, he doesn't know what to do with it. Gives it back to Wormsley. Wormsley chips one around the corner and finds a big fella Welsh at centre half forward. A little bit of indecisive play there by the Anakie players, and now we've got Welsh going back to have the shot for goal. Comes in. A punt kick down towards the goal line. Up they fly. Touched off the hands of the pack. Through for 1 point to Paul Welsh. 1 goal, 1 for the afternoon. That came up at the 17.5 minute mark of the final quarter here. Brought to you on the Rockies 24 hours locksmith time clock. And the pictures coming through the eyes of guest video cameras. From full back, a short kick out towards the pocket. Thompson's there, picks it up now. He chips a little one out towards the half-back flank. He's got a teammate over there, runs through half-back, kicks the ball down towards centre wing. Totten comes across. He's given a nudge in the back, falls to the ground. Parella picks it up. He got a teammate running wide, and this is Lumsden. Lumsden down towards half-forward. Trebilcock tries to tap the ball forward, being held without the ball. The defensive Anakie comes through, where it's picked up there for them and kicked out of trouble by Brendan Jolly, looking for Totten. But the ball's close to the boundary line. Over it goes, and we'll have a throw in centre wing, clubhouse side of the Crescent, as we see on the Kerrs Northside Higher Corio Village News Agency final quarter scoreboard. Eastern Suburbs 13-9-87, leading Anakie 9-12-66. From the throw-in, we see Anakie go into attack. Wormsley trying to pick this ball up. He's got 3 to beat. Flips it out, but it goes straight to Watson. Watson from the centre of the ground. A long kick down over half forward. The bouncing ball here favours Jolly. He soccers the ball straight across the ground, but he's beaten for pace by the big fella Trebilcock, who slips over at the vital stage, but he's got backup support there by Billman. Oh, Billman tries to socker the ball off the ground. In defence, we see Elmer being held, I would say, without the ball, and Elmer to take the free kick in the back pocket. Elmer now kicks the ball back towards the half-back, but it's into a nest of Eastern Suburbs players. O'Leary couldn't take the mark. He's got support, though, from Zulik. Zulik runs to the centre half-forward, screws one back. Has it come back far enough or not? No, 1 point is the result. 20 minutes into the final quarter here this afternoon, and I think Anakie have run their race, and Eastern Suburbs should hold on as the kick in from fullback goes out to halfback and finds Totten. Totten now comes into Wood centre half back to corridor, finds a big fella Julian trying his heart out here this afternoon. He's kicked down towards the centre of ground, but the mark's been taken for the Suburbs over there on the far side of the ground. A high kick down towards the half-forward line. Julian goes across. It's up the way by Billman. First onto the ball is Perry for the Suburb side, but it goes across the line and we'll have a throw in. Right, the boundary umpire brings the ball back into play. Up they go. Just comes to ground, picked up by Julian. He's kicked down towards the centre of the ground where it's all Eastern Suburbs. Rundle loses it, picks it up. But the Shepherder there was hanging on to the Anakie player, and the free kick to be taken in the centre of the ground. It'll be taken by Darren Friday. He comes across ground looking for a teammate here, and he's found him, and this is Mick Carter. Mick Carter now goes out wide looking for Totten. Totten takes a mark on centre wing. Right, he tried to handball to a player going past and has mucked it up, but they got backup support there by Brendan Jolly. Kicks down to Camarotti. He's not having a very good day today as Mick Thompson flips the ball over the top. It's tapped back. Thompson gets another chance to handball it. Socket along the ground here by Camarotti. He's going to about 20 metres. He's bumped off the ball. The defence of Eastern Suburbs stands firm. Further downfield there by Morris Stevenson down towards the centre wing. Players slipping and sliding. The umpire's found a free kick here. Play on, he calls, as the advantage rule is paid. Eastern Suburbs got the runners now. Out to Lumsden. Lumsden now. He kicks back towards the corridor. Going through strongly there, though, was Mick Carter. Sockets the ball off the ground. No one can take advantage as the umpire's going to move in and ball it up as the pack develops on the half-forward flank on the far side of the Richmond Crescent. Eastern Suburbs attacking end of the ground. 22 minutes gone into this, the final quarter. Umpire throws it up. Welsh grabs the ball out the ruck. Handballs to a teammate now. He runs away from half back. Kicks the ball long down towards half forward. Up they fly. Over the back of the pack, it's Perella. Perella with handball finds Rundle. Rundle runs towards the centre of the ground. Kicks out here to half forward. Got two players out here. Let the ball go over the head. It's Mick O'Leary runs onto it now. Picks it up. Has the flying shot towards a goal, and he has just missed. Right now, waiting for the ball to be brought back into play. Kicking the ball in this time is Darren Jolly for the Anakie side. Comes out this side of the ground. A bad kick. O'Leary chips in the head of Carter. He's pushed off the ball. Treblecock gets another kick. His kick smothered. Picked up here by Jolly. Jolly's kick out from half back out towards the far side of the ground. Up they fly over there. Over the back of the pack it goes. Picked up here by Wormsley. Gives it across to his teammate there running towards the centre of the ground. And this was Gavin. He's kicked towards centre half forward looking for Big Julian. He's met solidly. Down he goes. Perella it was that met him solidly. Julian's back in there trying to get this ball out. Scramble playing the centre of the ground. The umpire letting it go. Now he blows the whistle at the 23-minute mark, and he'll have a ball up in the centre of the ground. Player hurt on the far side of the ground. Running off the ground for the Suburbs side there is Grant Greenwood. Played a good game at full-back too. From the bounce, it's Eastern Suburbs through Mick Thompson. Goes straight across to the interchange player who's just come on, and he takes a mark. And this is Brendan Pitt. He told me he was going to get on the cameras this afternoon. Anyway, Brendan's kicked down towards the half-forward line. Shocking kick, Brendan, and finds Jeff Totten, and he'll repel this Eastern Suburbs attack. Right, Totten short kick forward, finds a teammate there who kicks the ball down towards half forward. The bouncing ball favours McCallum. McCallum now kicks the ball down towards centre wing, leading in the race for the ball. Suburbs dive on it, slip over to get the handball out. Further handball goes nowhere. Picked up here for Anakie. Comes out the back of the pack again. Welsh intercepts a handball, but it's very scrambly play on the far side of the ground, and the umpire will have to call for it and ball it up. throws the ball up in there, up they go. Tapped out here for pushing the back on the Anakie player, leading in the race for the ball, and he'll get up and take a free kick between centre wing and half forward flank. Comes straight across the ground looking for the big fella here in Bissett, and he's found him. Well, Bissett submarine kick, but it's found his teammate in Carter. Carter now goes forward with a little chip kick down to half forward, and he's found Norton. Norton now in towards the pocket, a high kick though, puts his player under extreme pressure down there, comes to ground, socket off the ground by the defence. Julian Wormsley couldn't take it, tapped out here to Carter. Carter gets a quick kick forward, but Eastern Suburbs with the numbers. Mick Thompson back there, goes for the points, kicks a point for the Anakie side, off the boot there of Mick Thompson from Eastern Suburbs, but went for the safety first there, and one behind to Anakie, and that's come up at the 25.5-minute mark. The kick in from full back finds Perella. Perella in the back pocket now. Another short pass here, and he's found Whitley. Right, Whitley from half back, steadies, kicks high down towards the centre wing. They set themselves down here. Carter brings the ball to turf, being pushed over there by Watson, picked up here by Hood. Hood's handball over the top. The short kick comes down here to centre wing and finds O'Leary. This is Mick O'Leary on the centre wing. Played a great game here this afternoon. Comes in, kicks the ball down to half forward. Players set themselves. Over the back of the pack it goes. It's Eastern Suburbs through Trevor Crock. This is Greg. Sockers the ball forward. Down there where Rundle runs onto it. His teammate got in his way there. It's tapped out to Rundle now in the forward pocket. Kicks the ball high down towards the forward line looking for Trevor Crock. Slips over at the vital stage, but back up support there. Sees him come through. Totten tries to get the ball. He's back onto it now. It's picked up by Jolly. This is Darren Jolly. He kicks down towards centre half back and finds Julian. Julian now towards the centre where he's got Wormsley all on his own. Wormsley runs through to centre, goes out wide. Got a teammate over there who takes the mark. Handballs are back here looking for Wormsley who can't take it. Wormsley taps the ball on looking for Darren Friday, but the numbers are against him at the moment. But the umpire's picked out a free kick, and it will go to the player on the bottom of the pack when he picks himself up. I think it's Dave Wormsley, yes it is, and he'll go back and take this free kick, and it's been given against O'Leary. Wormsley now kicks the ball towards the pocket, over the heads of the players it goes. Coming out is Perella, a long handball out wide. He's got a teammate over there in Morris Stevenson on half-back flank. His handball is intercepted. Anakie with handball, but there's the siren to end the game here this afternoon. A very short quarter, that one. Only went 27 minutes, and Anakie have run out winners here this afternoon. Comfortable winners in the end. They hold the Anakie's onslaught in the final quarter, and they finish up kicking 13-11-89 to Anakie, who kicked 9 goals, 13-67. As I said, 27 minutes on the Rockies 24-hour locksmith that final quarter, and a very short quarter compared to the others that went 30 and 31, but there were not many goals scored in the final quarter. Eastern Suburbs very happy, a second division side knocking off the Division 1 side Anakie premiers of last season too, we see. But Eastern Suburbs now go to 6 wins with 1 lost. They're on top of the Division 2 ladder, and Anakie have a 4-3 effort for season 1992. Right now, we'll do some goal kickers and better players for the afternoon. Goal kickers for the losing side first, Anakie. We had Paul Welsh kicking 1, 2 to Darryl Julian, 1 to Paul Camarotto, 1 to Paul Wilkes, 2 to Darryl Bissett, 2 to Brendan Jolly. For the victors Eastern Suburbs, we had Mick Thompson kicking 1, 6 goals to Shane Trebilcock at centre half forward. He went back to full forward for a little part of the game, but from centre half forward he kicked 6 goals, 1. Mick Billman kicked 1, McCallum kicked 1, Mick O'Leary kicked 2, and 1 goal each to Graham Thompson and John Zulik. Better players for the Anakie side, I thought number 2 in Jeff Totten on the wing played quite well. Darryl Julian, number 6 at centre half forward or on the ball, tried his hardest all day for the Anakie side. Darren Jolly across half back, number 9, I thought did some good work. Probably their best player on the day was Daryl Bissett, number 17 for Anakie. Whether on the ball or around the ground, I thought he did a good job for the Anakie side. Looking further down, I thought Phil Gavin tried hard also, and Darren Friday did his bit also. Dave Wormsley tried hard, the number 8 Guernsey that we didn't have a number for early in the piece. He tried hard for the Anakie side also. For the victors, Eastern Suburbs, well, Mick Thompson in the centre or moving around the ground, he did quite a service or game for the suburb side this afternoon. Shane Treblecock at centre half forward, kicking 6 goals 1. Well, you can't ask any more from a centre half forward. He and Greg Treblecock down at full forward gave Eastern Suburbs something to kick the ball to down there. Dean Watson on a wing, I thought played quite a good second half here this afternoon. Mick Billman flashed in and out. Graham Hood also flashed in and out of the game here this afternoon. Mick O'Leary on a half forward flank roamed the ground a little bit and was always in the thick of things. Further down we see Grant Greenwood at full back. I thought played quite well, although he had plenty of support from Perella dropping back down there, and Mitch Whitley dropping down there to cover Camarotto, who didn't have his kicking boots on today, but I think, as I said during the call, there was a doubt on his fitness here this afternoon, and he struggled all afternoon, but full credit to Grant Greenwood. I thought that he did a marvellous job back there. Now, the best player or best performer for the day for the Guest Video APCO Easy Shop Award that's presented each week at the venue of the replay of this and weekly games for the GFL and GDFL down there at Lammy's Bar in the Wool Centre down there in Marlborough Street. Well, you could have picked 2 or 3 Eastern Suburbs players. As I said, Shane Treblecock at centre half forward, I thought played a great game for him. The captain, Mick Thompson, he did quite well, but I'm going to give it to a young fella today on a half forward line, kicking 2 goals 3, wearing the number 24 Guernsey, and Mick O'Leary is my best performer of the day. I thought he did quite well. He was not frightened to put his body on the line and was nipping in and out of the packs, looking for teammates further down the ground, and I thought he did quite a good job. And I'd also like to give a mention to probably the best player in the losing side in Daryl Bissett, and probably he was closely followed by Daryl Julian. Well, all in all, it was Eastern Suburbs who got away to a flying start in the first quarter, kicking 6 goals. They only kicked 7 for the rest of the match, whereas Anakie kicked 1 in the first quarter and kicked 8 to finish up with 9 goals. But Eastern Suburbs deserved their win, and I think on the Gary Kerrs Northside Higher Coria Village News Agency final quarter scoreboard, which should come up very shortly, I hope, if the director is not asleep in his chair down there, should show that Eastern Suburbs kicked 13 goals 11.89 to Anakie 9 goals 13.67. Well, there's not much more we can say from up here this afternoon. I'd just like to thank the camera boys upstairs here today. It got pretty cold here by the end of the afternoon, but they stuck to their job manfully. Downstairs, the director, I think he's gone to sleep at the moment because we haven't had the final score put back up. Scotty down there in the director's chair doing a great job again this afternoon. This has been Barry Walker on behalf of Guest Video Productions, hoping that you enjoy this telecast here this afternoon for Guest Video, and we'll be back again next week. Don't forget the replays down there at Lammy's Weekly, and we'll be back next week for another game in Geelong and District Football League. As I say, good afternoon.